Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of DOLCraft Hardcore. In this series, you get to join me on my quest to achieve all advancements in hardcore Minecraft. What makes this a challenge is that if I die, I have to start over in a brand new world. I think it's fair to say that things didn't go according to plan in the last episode. I thought I was holding down the crouch button when I was on top of my scaffolding, but when I looked back at the replay, it was clear that I was not crouching. It appears that I was holding down the wrong button. But that's okay. Life gives us different experiences to learn from, and I reflected on what I could do differently in the next world. I'm playing on random seeds, which means that I have to be flexible with whatever the game sends my way. I can't have a specific strategy because I won't know what I have to work with until the world loads up. So instead, I'm going to focus on getting geared up as quickly as possible. I'm talking diamonds, I'm talking protection enchantments, and I'm talking feather falling. Until I can get myself to the point where I don't have to worry about dying, nothing else matters. Since this is our third world, I'm going to speed up the process this time around. Like the last seed, we spawned in another cold biome. This time the start was much less treacherous though. We found several shipwrecks before coming across an igloo that had a zombie villager set up. Luckily, there were enough materials to make a lectern and trade for an enchanted book, so I decided to cure the zombie and wait until I could trade with them. Eventually, the villager offered Feather Falling 3 and a bookshelf for trades, which meant that we already had access to Feather Falling 4. What luck! We just started and we were already 1/3 of the way to our goal. I still didn't want to set up shop in a cold biome, so after looting a nearby village, it was time to move on. I traveled across the vast ocean for what seemed like an eternity. Well, we are in a large biome world after all. Eventually, I found land, and I just couldn't resist this cute little spot where the river bends around the corner here. I knew that I had found my spot, and it was time to start clearing a space to set up. It was around this time that I realized I had forgotten to turn my captions off. I have the captions on. I don't need to have those on. I did not mean to have them on. Well, that was not intentional, as I felt it was not in the spirit of this hardcore challenge. Sorry about that. So, if we wanted to get diamonds, the safest way is to dig down and start branch mining for them. I decided to go with the stairway this time and started digging the diamond level. Before too long, I came across a lush cave as well as an abandoned mineshaft. I lit the area up a bit before continuing down, and since it's early, food was still an issue that I needed to sort out, so I decided to put down actual stairs to save hunger going up and down the stairway. 10 out of 10 would recommend, by the way. I started the diamond gathering with a 2x1 tunnel, but was pretty displeased with the yield. I literally got 0. I turned to a 1x1 method that I saw CubFan135 doing in their recent diamond mining video. While I did find some diamonds doing this method, it was still pretty lackluster in returns. I decided caving would not only be more fun, but it would also likely provide higher net gain than what I was seeing from mining. And I did find a number of diamond ore deposits while I was caving. I left most of them so I could come back later when I had fortune on my pickaxe, but I gathered enough to get said pickaxe as well as a pair of boots and an enchanting table. Since we already had Feather Falling 4, I wanted to get that on our feet as soon as possible. I knew that we didn't have a full enchanting setup yet, but we can always combine these boots into another pair with protection 4 down the road. For now, these will do. I was a little sick of being in the caves at this point, and I knew we needed to get some cows going if we were going to have a full enchanting setup. It seemed like a good time to do some exploring and see if we could find those mooing mobs. So I set across the landscape and traveled far and wide. However, it wasn't cows that I found, but dogs. Wanna be my friend? Hell yeah, you do. What about you? Hell yeah, you do too. Alright. I got some puppers. Yeah, there we go. The parrots and the bats. Got a little baby pupper. Oh, he's adorable. Oh my god, he kind of looks like Scrappy-Doo a little bit. With our new friends, I thought it was a good time to clear out the abandoned mineshaft. so went back in and quickly found not just one, but two mob spawners. I actually found a third mob spawner as well, but we won't talk about that one. This meant that experience for enchanting was no longer an issue. I quickly turned the zombie spawner into an XP grinder before turning my attention back to the cow problem. We still needed cows to build the remaining bookshelves for our enchanting setup. Since there weren't any in our area, I decided to head north. Eventually we found another island, and there were a number of cows ready to join us on our adventure. I rounded them up and we were on our way back home. Now that we had our cows, it was time to build a cow crusher and a wheat farm to power it. I also put together an auto composter and smelter setup while we were at it. Now we had everything we needed and it was time to finish building the XP grinder. Cave spider spawners are a little more complex than zombie spawners when it comes to building XP grinders. Spiders like to climb walls, and that means that they don't always end up in the kill chamber. It's really annoying to hear them chirping continuously, so I like to put berry bushes at the top to kill any that get up there. Now that we had both spawners going and getting XP for enchanting was no problem, it was time to roll for Fortune 3 on our pickaxe. And on the second attempt, we hit the best possible roll.
Breaking 3 again. There we go. Fortune 3, efficiency 4 on breaking. Heck yeah. All right. Let's go mine us some diamonds.
We now had enough diamonds for full diamond armor, hitting the second target for this episode. And now that we had enough diamonds to build the rest of our armor, it was time to roll on some more enchantments.
Protection 4, yes. We'll take it. Protection 4. I guess they don't want to give us anything else.
We hit Protection 4 on the chest and pants, which at this point could really only benefit more with Unbreaking. I was fine with that, and then I relocated the enchanting setup to the XP grinder before rolling Protection 4 on the helm. We now had Protection 4 on 3/4 of our gear and a safe place to grind XP to get whatever enchantments we wanted from the enchanting table. I decided to do one last mining session to fill out the rest of our tools, and then I spent some time grinding out enchantments for them. And that's where we're at today. We have a full set of diamond gear, Protection 4 on all of our armor, and Feather Falling 4 on our boots. We also knocked out a ton of advancements along the way. And this has been our strongest start in this hardcore series, and I don't think we're going to die anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you in the next one.